Greetings. I have added sound now to these recordings to help you understand what we need to do. So let's start off in section 3.3. First section was sound, where we have to identify the intercepts in this figure here, in this shape. So the intercepts occur where the graph intercepts the axis. So this is an intercept, this is an intercept, same with here and here as well. So these are all points of interception, and we have to identify those. That's what the intercept is. So let's start with this one, and that is simply what? 0, 1. I'll put in the ordered pair or coordinates. This point here is 1, 0. This guy here, we'll call it, let's see, that's going to be 0, -2. Whoop. And finally, this one here is -1, 0. Okay, and these are the intercepts for this particular problem here. All right, that's number 7. Okay, for the next problem, number 10, we are going to use the instruction says for objective B, graph each linear equation by finding and plotting its intercepts. Okay, and a clue for doing that, when you want to do that, is when the x and y are on the same side of the equal sign. They're not split up. All right, so it makes it quite easy to do. Using my t-chart, I can say when x equals 0, what would y be? And then I would also say when y is 0, what will x be? So let's go ahead and do this. When x is 0, what will y be? I have -y equals 4, so I'm going to divide by the -1, so I'm going to have y equals +4. I'll plug that in right now, one at a time. The next one, when y is 0. When y is 0 here, then my result is that x equals -4. So when y is 0, x equals -4. Okay, it means x minus 0 equals -4. I'm literally plugging it in. X equals -4. All right, here's my plotted points, my coordinates, if you will. 0, 4 will be up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the other point is -4, 0. Starting at the origin, go to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the joy of doing the intercept method, because then your plotted points are going to be on the axis. Okay, I'll get a line here. Complete this in this fashion here. I've got my graph then, as you can see. Okay, done with that one. Okay, our next problem here is to say, now it's saying to graph by the intercept method by plotting its intercepts. However, I'm not going to have you do something if it's not to your advantage. And that means I've got this equation. I have an x on one side of the equal sign and the y's on the other. So I don't want to do the intercepts here. I just want to plug in a couple values here for the y, because then I'll multiply that number by 2 and it'll spit out what x equals. So the easiest way of graphing this, which is my goal, I want you to graph it, not to do extra work here. Not that it's that much, but I'm just going to say when when y equals 0 for one value, and how about if I just say if y is maybe 2? just to spread it out. Could have said 1. But if y is 0, then x is 0. When y is 2, x is going to be 4. And here I've got my 2 points that I can use to plot. Arithmetic was easy enough. So here I'm going to plot 0, 0, the origin, and then 4, 2. Over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, up 2. If you want a third point, go ahead if you need to, but I'm going to say not to. All right, there we go. So I'm now drawing my line here, and we've got it. And that's it. We're done with that graph. Okay, how about number 16? 2x plus 3y equals 6. And again, as I analyze this problem, what I want to do, the x and the y are on the same side of the equal sign. So I'm going to do the intercepts. I'm going to plot the intercepts to graph this. So that means when x is 0, what would y be? When y is 0, what is x going to be? All right, and let's see if we can do this. So if x is 0, it kind of wipes all this away here, which means it's gone. And I'm just left with 3y equals 6. Divide both sides by 3, and I get y is 2. Okay? When y is 0, it wipes away the 3y, it's gone, and then I've got 2x equals 6. 2x equals 6, which means that x equals 3. 6 divided by 2. There's my 2-ordered pair. 0, 2 is here. 3, 0 is here. And there's my line. This is the easy part, right? 1 here and 1 over here. Okay. Maybe I should work that out. I'm not sure, but let's try it. Let's do it again. So if x equals 0, then that means 2 times 0 plus the 3y equals 6. So 2 times 0 is 0, so that's what I mean by this is gone. Gone. I've got 3y equals 6. So divide both sides by 3, and y equals the 2, all right, which I've got here. Rewriting the problem, 2x plus 3y equals 6. For the next point, remember, I got to do it twice, when y is 0. So if y is 0 here, that means 2x plus 3 times 0 equals 6. And now we know here that 3 times 0 is 0, so this disappears. And I've got 2x equals 6. And here's where I say to divide both sides by 2 to get the x by itself. And then I have x equals 3. And that's where we got this number from. Okay? Next. Okay, here's a couple of tricky problems. Tricky in the sense that when we have an equation where y equals 5, just y equals 5, we have to think that this is a horizontal line. Anything y equals any number, we just have to remember it. Horizontal line. Memorization is the easiest thing to do. So at y equals 5, I want to say where is 5 on the y-axis. Here's the origin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here is 5, but this is just the point here, so I can't leave it there. I need the line. So the line is going to go this way here, horizontal line. Okay, I won't use that straight line tool there if you don't mind. There. So this is the equation, y equals 5. Likewise, for x, anytime I have an equation where x equals any number, we have to remember that it is a vertical line. Vertical line. All right, so here this is odd, x equals 0, but the equation here is I'm going to find 0 on the number line on the x values, that's here, and it's a vertical line at x equals 0. So that's going to be right on top of the axis for this case here. Okay? And that is the graph of x equals 0. Let's just quickly do another one. If this said x equals 6, then I would find 6 on the number line on the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's 6. And then it's going to be, the hard part is the vertical line. Remembering that. Okay? So I wish I had some mnemonic device there to help you with that, but I can never figure one out. That's helpful. Vertical is the x, horizontal is the y. Okay, next problems. Okay, number 32. Okay, x plus 3y equals 9. Oh, here's the t-chart. Gotta have that. Okay, and here, because the x and the y are on the same side of the equal sign, that's the clue to use the intercepts, meaning when x is 0, what is y going to be? And when y is 0, what is x going to be? Simple as that. So let's do the first one. When x is 0, what is y going to be? Isn't that easy? So that means 0, x is gone, you got 3y equals 9 is left. Divide both sides by 3, and x, or y is going to equal 3. Okay? Next, when y is 0, that wipes that all away. X plus 3 times 0 is 0 equals 9. So just cover it up or whatever you want to do to, it's gone. Gone away, not an x. So then I'm left with x equals 9. And I'll put that here. There's my 2 points. 0, 3, 1, 2, 3. 9, 0. Do I have room? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We'll make this 9 here. Get my straight edge. And that's the look of that graph. Okay. What's going on there? Okay. So, what was I going to say? And then you could, for example here, I'm going to pick another point here. Let's see if I said if y, I'll pick on y, if y were 1, what would x be? If y were 1, what would x be? So it would be, I'm going to rewrite this down here to be x plus 3 times 1 equals 9. 3 times 1 is 3 here, so I'll subtract 3 from both sides. And what I got? X, this is 0 now, so that's gone, it's disappeared, equals 9 minus 3 is 6. So when y is 1, x is 6. If I plot that point, I'm going to go over to the right 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and up 1. And notice where I'm at. Right on that line yet again. Okay, way of checking that or whatever, however you want to handle that. Okay, that is number 32. Okay, here's an extra problem I'm picking up on to show you what to do when you run into this situation here. All right, so here this problem looks backwards anyway, but we can deal with it. If I didn't want to deal with it this way, you know, you could always rewrite it to be x minus 3y equals 4. If you like it better that way, nothing wrong with doing that. More importantly, x and y are on the same side of the equal sign, so I'm going to use the xy intercept method, meaning when x is 0, what is y going to be? When y is 0, what is x going to be? All right, let's try it with this problem and see what happens. So when x is 0, I'm going to have 0 minus 3y, that equals 4. So this is nothing, it's gone. Divide both sides by this negative 3. So y equals negative 4 over 3. Okay? Oh, this is a negative here. So I just use the negative with the numerator. I just like to that way. So when x is 0, y is negative 4 over 3. There's that improper fraction. I'll do the y being 0. I can look at this one here, say x minus 3 times 0, y is 0, equals 4. That's an easy one then too, right? So x is going to equal 4. Y is 0, x equals 4. Okay, and here's my ordered pair. Now here is the dilemma here. What is negative 4/3? And it's simple. You want to change that to a mixed number perhaps. All right, remember how to do that. You can use your calculator, of course, or divide 3 into 4. 3 goes into 4 one time. 1 times 3 is 3. Subtract. Bring down, and there's a 1 there, so I read this as 1 and 1/3. 1 and 1/3. Negative. So where is that? Here's the origin. I'm going to go x is 0 and y is negative 1 and 1/3. Well, here's negative 1 here, and then I'm just going to go a third of the way. This is just an estimate here. That's all you're going to do too. Negative 1 and a third. The other point here is 4, 0. Starting at the origin, go over 4. And there's the second point there. So there you got your 2 points. Draw your line. And like I say, it's not exact there, but it's the general area of where this line would be. Pretty close though. Okay. Thank you for listening to that extra bit of information. And that's what the next one is, 38. 38 is about the same thing if I can just cram it in this one here. So let's see, I've got number 38 is, whoop, where am I going here? 38, it's saying that x equals negative 1 and 3/4. Okay, so what do we say about x equaling any number? What kind of a line is that going to be? A vertical line. X equals negative 1 and 3/4. So here at the origin, let me change colors here. I'm going to go over 1 and then 3/4 of the way here. Again, that width of that pen mark takes up a little bit more space. But nevertheless, it's still going to be a vertical line. Okay, we can do something like that. All right, and that's the graph of x equals negative 1 and a third. Negative 1 and 3/4. All right, got it done. That's the last problem. Okay.